In this section, guys, I want to talk about just playing on one conga drum, okay? You might get to the gig or to the rehearsal or wherever the session, and there's only one drum there. And, you know, if you're used to playing on two or more, how do you simplify everything down to just one drum? And the same concepts apply, you know, that you're still going to use the exact same tones. You just have to try to get a little more musical on one instrument. And for me, I always have the drum centered right in front of me, you know, and, you know, if I'm going to sit right in front of the drum like this, I'll put my hands, make a triangle in my hands like that, pull my fingers back, my whole hands back until my thumbs fall off the edge, and that's kind of my center point, because I don't want to have the drum over to the edge or, you know, or too far away. It's got to be very comfortable. The biggest thing is you got to be comfortable no matter what drum you play, right? So for me, this feels pretty comfortable. It's right there. I've still got my triangle. My thumbs are off the edge of the head there, and now I can play. So for what you guys can practice is, I always say practice like lots of drum rudiments and obviously practice your tones and whatnot, but start up with a single stroke roll. So what you guys can practice here is you can just take the single stroke roll and then bring out some accents, okay, or some louder notes, something like this. So you guys can see that really fills up a lot of space with all those notes in there, but you know, it really adds a lot of rhythmical excitement to what's happening. If that's going to fit the music, or if you had a drum circle or somewhere down at the beach, that would be kind of cool to play. Now let's say you have to accompany a band. You know, let's go back to our tumbao pattern, which we learned earlier, and as opposed to hitting those last two notes on the larger drum, play them on the small drum, like this. Now when I play this pattern on one drum, I got to make sure that I get my left hand off the drum because I have to hit it and get that open tone. If I do this, watch what happens. It still works, but that's not what I'm going for. I want those four and notes to be open and dung dung, right? So I got to just do a little bit differently than when I use two drums. So I got to make sure that my left hand comes off the drum if I want to get those open tones. So that's a big one. You guys can do all kinds of things, like the flams. We haven't even talked about flams yet. Doing flams on your drum. So don't be afraid if there's only one drum when you get to the gig and they say you only got one drum, is make it work. There's so many things you can do. You can go back to the paradiddles, the double paradiddles. Having extra drums is a luxury. If you only have one, take these same concepts to one. I do it all the time, guys. So have fun with that, and we'll see you in the next section.